Well, hello, my name is Danny Barron, and I am Mike Howard's best friend. I was born in New Haven, Connecticut, and I grew up in Branford, Connecticut, and I went to Branford High School. So, I'm going to answer some questions that Mike has asked me. How competitive is Mike? Any stories you want to share of his competitiveness? I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, Mike is at least a 9 out of 10. He's very competitive, and in terms of people I personally know, he is the most competitive person that I personally know in real life, in the real world. I would say a big thing about him is he's even competitive with Jenga and with Guess Who, the kids games. But also, like, if he's at a bar and playing pool, he gets very competitive. Definitely running or swimming, very competitive. And if you're ever gonna do a matchup with him, like with anything at all, he'll say, "Come on, let's do it." Like he knows he will win. He just assumes he's gonna win. And even if you give him arguments to the contrary, he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win." So he's extremely competitive. Once we saw a show together and they were singing and dancing, and at the end of one of the numbers, he didn't clap, like he refused to clap. And I was like, "Oh, you didn't think it was good?" And he goes, "No, it was too good. I'm like angry. I'm like jealous at how good they are." So he was so competitive that he refused to clap for people because they did a good job singing and dancing. So I guess even in his mind, it was like competing against himself, like he can never be that good for singing and dancing. So it was really funny that he didn't clap for them, and the reason he did not clap was they did a good job. So he's like, "No, I don't want to clap for them." So that was kind of funny. All right, I got to be honest and open. Why do I think that? Basically, why has Mike not made it to the next level in terms of being mainstream, even in Connecticut? For Connecticut, for the country, internationally, there's a lot of things that go on. Do you already have a famous relative? Are you already famous for something else? Do you have a lot of money where you could buy your way into fame? Can you buy commercials, advertisements? I think and do you have a lot of free time? Mike has been working since as far back as I can remember, I think 18 years old or around then. He's been a substitute teacher for many years now. He's also had a bunch of other jobs. And I think some of it's the time. Also, he doesn't have $10 million just sitting around. And some cameras could cost $100, or some could be free, but some could be $20,000 or even $200,000. It's hard when you don't have your own studio, when you don't have a team of like 10 people you can just pay to do it. So that's very difficult. Some of it is luck, unfortunately, and some of it is kind of who you know. So it's a combination of those things. I think Mike knows what he's doing. He has good interview skills. He's met some amazingly famous people, like truly famous people. And there's people who are famous who are not as skilled and talented as he is, so it's not fair. But if he had $10 million and all the time in the world, and he could hire a team of people, do the marketing, public relations, then yeah, he could be famous overnight. Another thing is if someone who interviewed him simply put on, "Check this interview out I did with hashtag Michael Howard," and then hashtag the Mike Nice Show or Mike Nice Show, and then he put a picture up plus the video of the interview. If Stephen A. Smith did that, then Mike could have 5 million people know who Mike is overnight, or maybe 10 million people within 24 minutes, not even 24 hours. So it's some luck, and it's some, do people do favors for you? There's a lot of factors for that, and it depends how you measure fame, but we can get into that later. So Misty Copeland, the ballerina dancer, Linda McMahon, Maya Angelou, Stephen A. Smith, Malcolm X's daughter, an Oprah lookalike, Daryl McDaniels from Run DNC, Russell Simmons, Peter Sagal from NPR, Wait, Don't Tell Me in the original Yellow Power Ranger, the woman from Prince of Bel-Air who played Hillary, Umar Johnson. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Who are your top 3 interviews he did in your opinion? I think number 1 is Daryl McDaniels from DMC. He's legendary. It was a great atmosphere. I think it was the lobby of a restaurant and inside a restaurant in the front of it. Great questions, great answers. The sound quality was great. I mean, it was an A+ interview, and that alone should have made him famous. And if Daryl McDaniels posted that, I truly think Mike would have millions of people know who Mike is. Second best, I would say, is Russell Simmons. It was short and sweet, simple, to the point, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty good quality. It kind of seemed off the cuff, and it sort of was. I was there when it happened. I might have even filmed it, maybe. So that was kind of cool. That was in New Haven, Connecticut, if my memory serves me correctly. And then the third one actually is Umar Johnson, because he continues to get comments to this day on that YouTube video. Over 10,000 views. And Mike agreed with Umar Johnson in part of it, but also pushed back on part of it. A lot of people are either 100% against you or 100% for you if you're a guest. But Mike actually did a little bit of both. I thought it was totally open. They really went at it. But again, they agreed with each other on some stuff. And I even agree with Umar Johnson on some stuff. So I have to say Umar Johnson would have to be number 3. So it goes Daryl McDaniels, Russell Simmons, and Umar Johnson, in my opinion. Mike is always chasing the next interview, in your opinion. What interview do you think he needs to get to really be established that he's one of the best? Honestly, I don't know if you even need any more, although if you get a former or current president or vice president or head of state in any country in person and you shake hands or fist bump or give each other a hug, which I do think is relevant for many different reasons, especially the photo ops and especially psychologically, I think that would be a big deal. But a lot of it is really the next level, or kind of making you established, is having someone who's famous mention you and say, hey, check out this video, because that makes a huge difference. And if you add a picture and the actual video, if they tag it, if they embed it in their website, on Twitter, etc., X, whatever you want to call it, then that is huge. That is giant. Because they're saying, hey, I want you to check out. If Stephen A. Smith, again, says, hey, I want you to check this out, that's just giant. And you already have the people. Jacques Pepin, I don't know if I said his name right. Misty Copeland, if she was like, hey, let's do another interview and let's post a video and I'll tell people to watch it. Even though she's not the most famous, she has enough people, and she is a very big deal. She's an excellent dancer, very technical, very good. But yeah, that's what you need people. You already have the people, but you need to go back and have 10 of them say to other people on their YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, X, whatever, hey, I want Instagram. Hey, here's a link to the video. Here's a picture of me with this guy. And there you go. Mike says he's one of the best producers, interviewers of all time. He says no one could do both equally as good as him. What are my thoughts? I think not yet, but I think you could get there, and I think it would involve more travel and proving that you could handle a team of people, and that would take money. It would take resources. So maybe you are, but I don't think you've proven it yet. I'll put it that way. So you're potentially the best, but to prove it, I think it would take international travel, hiring a team of people, having them work for you, coordinating schedules. If you're a really good producer, the ability to coordinate schedules. Now, Mike did coordinate schedules for both of his movies and the script, and he had to do it. But if you get a team of people and maybe like famous people and coordinate their schedules, but no, you're a very good interviewer, you're a very good producer, and just better editing and better sound quality, just making sure like things are really tight and wrapped up and edited well, then I think that could potentially make you the best producer / interviewer. But maybe you already are, and maybe it's just an issue of proving it to people, having them check off their boxes. It's kind of fluid, because what does a producer mean? It can mean many different things for many different industries, and just even within the same industry, people have different opinions. So potentially you are, but I think if you want to prove it to me and to other people, there's a lot of things you'd have to do. But you're exceptional, and Mike has done exceptional things, and that's all I have to say about that. So Mike, keep at it, and I hope everyone enjoys this third part of the Sport of Reporting trilogy. Signing off, the Dancing Vegan Atheist.